What's up everybody, Danny's here, and in this video, I'd like to talk about the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, which was announced today. So anyways, let's talk about it. So the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase was announced today, and what are my favorite games that was announced on the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase? So I was thinking, let's come up with a list of what games that was announced on the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. Now, speaking of Hollow Knight Silksong, that was released on the Nintendo Switch and on the Nintendo Switch 2, and this game went completely viral. So I was thinking, hey, why not say that Hollow Knight was announced for the Nintendo Switch 2? So Hollow Knight got the Nintendo Switch 2 edition because right now, though, we've got Animal Crossing New Horizons Nintendo Switch 2 edition recently announced, but then we have a lot of people are saying that Hollow Knight Silksong was the best Hollow Knight game to ever play on the Switch 2. And a lot of people are saying that Hollow Knight was the first Hollow Knight game to be released. And now we got Hollow Knight Nintendo Switch 2 edition. And now by far, we are getting a Resident Evil game for the Nintendo Switch 2. And we're getting a Resident Evil Pro controller, which is kind of exciting though, definitely. And now, speaking of Virtual Console and Nintendo Classics, I know Virtual Console was on the original Wii, the Nintendo 3DS, and the Wii U. We now have console archives. I know it's kind of like arcade archives, but it's console archives, which is kind of like what you see, like it's a reference to Virtual Console. Simple of that. But Nintendo cannot do Virtual Console on the Nintendo Switch. They decided to do console archives. That's from like the Atari, the NES, the Super Nintendo, and also the N64, and also Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, something like that though. Because that's what a Virtual Console is for though, definitely. Kind of like what you see on the original Wii, the Wii U, and the Nintendo 3DS. Because I think Nintendo does Virtual Consoles like on a Wii U, basically. Which makes a lot of sense though. But I know the Nintendo 3DS has those features like that, basically, though. But also the Nintendo Switch would do the same thing, definitely. And I wish Nintendo announced Nintendo DS, Nintendo Classics, but they didn't actually because it was a partner showcase. But let me know, what is your favorite game that was announced on the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase? I would like to know in the comments below. Probably Hollow Knight Nintendo Switch 2 edition, because we haven't seen a new Hollow Knight for the Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, we have Hollow Knight Silksong already on the Nintendo Switch, but also we finally got Hollow Knight Nintendo Switch 2 edition. So that means we've got a bundle, Hollow Knight 1 and Hollow Knight 2. Which is kind of cool though, because we have Hollow Knight 1 and 2 on the Nintendo Switch. And we also got Hollow Knight 1 and 2 for the Nintendo Switch 2. Which is definitely one of the bright side we're looking at. Now, console archives. This is only for the Nintendo Switch 2. But this is Nintendo's first time announcing console archives. It's kind of like arcade archives and Virtual Console, Nintendo Classics. But it does remind me of Virtual Console because it'll have NES, SNES, N64, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and the Nintendo GameCube, and also a Nintendo 64. Yeah, I have listed that one. And also the Nintendo DS. Because I think this is like the Virtual Console that you get on like the Wii U, the Wii, and the Nintendo 3DS, definitely. That's what everyone is seeing, definitely. It's kind of like Nintendo Switch Online, but you gotta pay like $3 or $10 for one console archive on the Nintendo Switch. Kind of like with arcade archives on the Nintendo Switch. I know console archives would cost money, definitely for the Switch too. So this video is going to wrap it up here for today's video. Let me know what did you guys think of the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you guys are new to this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace!